We writing, we vibing, we crying. Hello, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to another voiceover video. I hope I'm not all up in you guys' ears, but today I'm writing and I'm very concentrated. Look at my concentration face. Yes, I was plotting Wonderglow in this footage, and I was having a great time despite how my face looks. I look kind of tired and over it, but I was genuinely having a really great time plotting through all the chapters. And later on in the video, I think I say that there's 50 chapters, but after this I ended up upping it to around like 60 just to allow for better pacing and more storytelling aspects. I don't know how many chapters will actually end up being in the book, of course, because it's nowhere near finished, but this draft is coming along nicely, so I'm very excited about that and very proud of myself. So it's gonna have probably a couple more drafts after this one. I have the main plot down, obviously, because I've been writing and I've been working on it, but it still needs to go through revisions and it still has to go through proofreading, so it's a long time coming, but I'm very excited for it and I hope that you guys are too. It is obviously a lot of work and a lot of world building that goes into it, which I enjoy. I love world building. I love thinking through things like logistically, like if they have a certain infrastructure to their kingdom or their city, I like to think about why that is. How does that affect the society? And for example, you know that the people in this book, they live in the cold, and so I have been using a lot of winter elements. I've been looking at a lot of northern states and seeing how different places function in the cold weather, and I think that that's going to add some authenticity to the book that I'm really excited about. Sometimes it can get a little stressful though, trying to write about things that you don't have a lot of like personal experience with. And then when it comes to fantasy, it can be even more stressful because you're writing about things that don't exist. And so you can actually kind of see I was getting a little stressed here because I was like, how am I going to make this work? But I ended up making it work. I think right here I was plotting and writing about the weather and where they are in the story. I was trying to match up with real life and like actual geography so that the weather that they're experiencing for the time of year and for the place that they're in would make sense, because the biggest thing that I can't stand is when I'm reading a book and that shit does not make sense. Like, what are you even writing about? What are you saying to me? It completely takes me out of the story. So I definitely try to make it as real as I can, which is probably why there's going to be so many drafts and revisions, because there's so many things to fact check, but that's just part of the process, and I'm still excited either way. I think one of the biggest challenges of writing a book while not being a full-time author or creative or full-time writer in any aspect is finding the time to get it done. Obviously, it's been over a year now, so it's definitely taking a while, but that is to be expected, especially, like I said, when it's not your full-time job. But on this particular day, I was doing it on my off day. I was writing and plotting on a Monday, but I also had a meeting right after I finished recording this, so even on my off days, I'm still pretty busy. So it is kind of a hassle to find a good schedule. And I can get really tired while I'm writing. Like I yawn right here because I'm so tired, and I still had an hour and a half meeting to go to after this, which was honestly not that bad, but I was just really tired by the end of it. But I still had the creative juices flowing in my brain afterwards, which was really good for me, because one of the best ways that I world build is by like daydreaming and thinking consistently about the characters and the world that they're in. And of course, this story is set in a kingdom, so I was thinking a lot about how the kingdom functions and how the society treats certain people. So I'm grateful that after working on it and having such a long meeting, I was still able to polish some things and clarify some things. And now we're going to cut to me giving you guys an update. So I'm probably gonna blur some of this out, but you can see that I have plotted all the way up to the midpoint turn right there, and then I have a few ideas like for the beats of the story up to the end, and I just need to finish plotting chapters 25 and then 29 through 50. And we're making good progress with the time as well. We writing, we vibing, we crying. So when I went back to writing, I realized that there was some problems with the pacing of the beats of the story, because the midpoint turn, even though it was in the middle of what I had, it was still technically too late into the book, if that makes sense. So I had to change some things around and lengthen some other things just to make it flow better overall. So that's what I'm working on here. And guys, I'm gonna be so honest, I'm watching this back and I don't know what I'm looking at right here. I keep looking to the side and then I do it again. That's weird. I don't know what I'm could possibly be getting distracted by. There was no one in my room and there was no cats either, but I guess she's just in her own little world. So anyways, back to the topic at hand. I fixed some of those pacing errors and then I did as much work as I could. Obviously, I'm running out of time because my meeting was supposed to start at 8 and it did, obviously. So I had to go to that and I ended up not getting as much as I wanted to done, but still a good amount, and I definitely have a good basis. I like to always leave off in a spot where I know that I can pick it up back easily again. And I did not do that before getting to it this time. When I started this vlog, I picked up and I was in a spot where I was like, girl, what are you talking about? So I made sure that I left off somewhere that feels like not finished, but definitely like you could take a break here for sure. So that was the goal and I achieved that, and I am proud of myself for that. I think that overall authors should be a lot more nice and forgiving to ourselves and be proud of ourselves for the little things, because there's a lot of negativity and self-doubt that comes when you're doing a creative project that's this big and takes this long, because we live in a society where we want those really quick instant gratification moments and those really quick dopamine hits, but you're just not going to get that when you're writing a book, which is part of the reason why I like it. I like that there's so much work that goes into it and so much passion and so many rewrites and proofreading and making sure that this is really the story you want to tell. So I personally enjoy that, and I try to be kind to myself. I forgot to record myself saying goodbye, so I'm going to give this update and then that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye! Okay, so I've plotted up to chapter 30. I think it's pretty good, so for right now, I'm going to stop because I have other stuff that I have to do today. But this was really good.